Hello, Chicago, and welcome back. We are back in the building with D Tycoon. My name is Reverend Catherine Brown D Tycoon. I am here with a special guest today. I am so pleased to announce that we have Damuti Pongo in the building, the news anchor from WVON. How are you today, young man?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
I am really excited. He's one of the hottest moderators and news anchors and the young African-American young men. And I really was so excited when you told me you would come because I think our young men, especially African-American men, need that motivation to know that they can do all things, you know.
Thank you.
And a lot of times they don't know that. So if you can you kind of tell the TV audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, I actually had a chance to meet you. I don't know if it was the first time, but I had a chance to meet you moderating a panel on police accountability put together by Chicago Progressive Caucus.
Yeah.
So aside of what I do at WVON, I moderate discussions about whether it be about voting or police accountability or anything community-oriented, different discussions in different forms across the city. Also host a podcast called Brainstorm with Doma T. It's available on iTunes, Android, whatever your podcasting app is. You can definitely take advantage of that because, like you said, I think we have these conversations, but I don't know if they happen amongst millennials, these intellectual conversations in a way that's easily digestible. So what the podcast is it's us laid back talking about hip-hop politics. Same talk that we do on WVON, but for my generation and every generation in between. So
I was just going to say, I love you for the younger generation. I don't know nothing about podcasting.
About podcasting?
So I'm sitting there like, what is he talking about?
You be good at it.
Okay, so that's something you're going to have to hook a sister up on, okay?
I got you.
Listen, audience, I just want to let you know that this is a live call-in show, so you can also call in and ask Mr. Pongo some questions.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
At this phone number that's right on the screen. It is 312-738-1060. And our topic for today, it is a hot topic because we are going into the election season. Yeah. And a lot of people feel like they don't want to vote. And so the topic for today is why vote? So TV audience, you call in and tell us how you feel about that as we go through the show today. We're going to take some of your calls. It is a live hotline show where you can call in and ask us questions and put your input and your comments and your concerns out there. I want to speak about an event that's coming up on tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of times we don't know that we can reach to our, people that did things before us. A lot of marches, a lot of protests, and then a lot of rallies has been done down through this year and, even before. But the young people have really came out and did a lot on protesting, rallies, and all of that. And sometimes we still feel powerless, like we don't have a voice.
Absolutely.
Behind, our marches. And we are having an event on tomorrow called Come Alive October 5.
Yeah.
Now, Come Alive October 5 was something that our late Mayor Harold Washington, for those that don't know, then you shouldn't be embarrassed to say you don't, but as for our young people that's looking, Mayor Harold Washington was the first African-American mayor and the only African-American mayor of Chicago.
Come on.
And that is something awesome. And on tomorrow, you're going to be with us too?
I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow.
Wow. We're going to have a young youth panel that's going to speak about some issues about why vote. Because a lot of people don't even know how it affects them when they don't vote.
No, it's true. And I think it's important to say, too, that it's understandable, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for so long, we voted people in office. Even if you look at President Barack Obama, he's done so much for the country and has done a lot for the African-American community. But a lot of it we can't feel, right? I mean, if you look at even My Brother's Keeper, right, the program he put forth in the city of Chicago. I think the mayor announced $36 million being invested in Becoming a Man programs. But you have other worthy programs like Backstar Project with Philip Jackson.
Yes.
That in the midst of that kind of got pushed to the wayside. Or if you look at what's happening with the budget crisis. So I think that we need to understand that local elections matter so much more than national elections in a lot of ways, right? And so when I hear people say that they don't want to vote or they'd rather give their vote to a third-party candidate, I understand that. And I think it makes sense. So I think the first thing is to admit that we understand where that sentiment is coming from.
Exactly.
But we also want to talk about how to be strategic and how to take the power of your vote and use it in a way that really makes sense. Because
Yes.
not voting is still a vote for someone.
That's right.
Right. I don't know if we realize that, and I don't think we should be disillusioned by what happens at the top of the ticket if you didn't do your due diligence at the bottom of the ticket.
That's true.
You know.
Could you just kind of, if you had an opportunity to just kind of talk to young men, especially African American men, and people in general, but you know, in the low income areas, and they've been hurt so much, they just lost hope in voting. What would you say to them to encourage them to do this, to consider to register to vote, and to get out there, get involved, and get out the vote?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, Reverend Brown, because in a lot of ways, I don't know if there's something unique that I can say to someone else that's going to hit them the way. Sometimes that transformation is personal, right? When you become involved
But
in
tell
politics.
them.
What I was gonna say was, I'm gonna say it as if I was talking to my 18-year-old self.
Okay,
right?
and talk to them right now.
right. I'm talking to you.
Yeah, right.
Listen. There are people who fought. I know you heard this before. There are people who have fought and died for the right to vote.
Oh,
right?
yes,
And
yes.
the only thing I can say is, if you want to know the value of something, think about what it takes. Think about what it takes for people to keep it from you. When people are still fighting the Voting Rights Act in the 60s, that was passed in the 60s, and today they have voter suppression laws.
Yeah.
You know, they have laws that at the same time that they pass voter ID laws, they close the DMVs in those areas in African American neighborhoods to make sure that you couldn't get the IDs necessary to vote, right? If someone is trying that hard to keep something away from you, then I mean it is something of value.
Important.
It has to be important, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if we necessarily understand that. Let's think about the things that hit us closely. Let's talk about mass incarceration.
Yeah.
Big topic. It's a lot of the reason why a lot of folks who normally would support, say, Hillary Clinton, isn't supporting her because of super predator comments, because of policies during the Bill Clinton administration that led to mass incarceration in part. And I think locally, at the local level, we're not paying attention to the judges. Are we voting in the right judges? Before Anita Alvarez became the Cook County, the state's attorney in Cook County, were we paying attention to what her platform was at the time when she was running, or did it take the death of this young boy for us to realize that was evidence, to recognize that? So when we talk about voting, you have to really look at where it touches you in your community. Those who thought that they wanted to send the Democratic Party a message, I think they were right on target when it came to the gubernatorial race, right? But at the same time, we now have a governor that is allowed.
We'll be all night. Please don't.
Yeah. So me, I got to be unbiased in what I say.
Well, you know.
But depending on what your political interests are, there are so many things, so many local touch points that we have to pay attention to. And if you really pay attention to those things, then you will see that there are ways that you can use your vote in a way that makes sense. Whether it be for city council, whether it be for these local judges, Cook County races, senator races, gubernatorial races, all of these things that are coming up. Well, not the gubernatorial, but a lot of these local elections. You got to pay attention to it, and I think it's important.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking how, yes, callers, I see y'all call, so we are going to take a call. And I'm going to be quiet. Go ahead, y'all. Send a caller through.
We got callers. Okay,
right,
cool.
we do got the caller. So go ahead, caller. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, how are you guys? I haven't seen you guys in a while.
Yeah, we was on vacation. Can a sister take a vacation?
We all need it sometimes. I need one myself, too. But the reason why I was calling was because I have a few issues here.
Okay.
Now, the first one is the one with the voting, okay? I did not vote for Barack Obama, okay? I voted for Mitt Romney, to be honest with you. I know everybody got their differences, but I believe that he is like the most dangerous man we had in this country, you know.
Well, let me ask you this.
These policies that he set in place, too.
Caller, listen, you do know Barack cannot get back in office in this election, so I need you to focus in on this election so we can get the people.
But see, the thing is, I know him, me and my family know him personally, and I never liked him the day that I met him.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Barack Obama.
Well, don't come on my show try to bash Barack Obama. Now I'm telling to get you to talk to me about how do we listen. Let me put the question out there so you'll know how I want you to address it. I need you to tell me, no matter, because this is not, so we're not trying to tell nobody who to vote for, but we want to encourage those that are not registered to vote to register to vote and to get involved in community work as well as get out the vote. How can you as a citizen, I'm taking you in Chicago or around anywhere around the country, encourage people that is not registered to vote to register to vote? How can you do that? Answer that.
Well, I could say like this. I could say the views on both candidates and, what to stand for, and then they can make their decision of what they want in their life. Do they want somebody who's going to do this or that, or, you got to think about all those things. I mean, and I warned people about Barack Obama before he even got...
You don't went back to Barack Obama. I see. Do my caller understand the question? Do you understand the question? How could you get the young people of anybody that is not registered to vote, how can you encourage them to vote? How can you let them know why it's so important? We need that input from
Because, no, my point was that it's going to impact their life, if they do not vote.
Now, that's good. That's good.
Because their health care could be taken away from, but even though we should not be forced to pay the tax for that. And that's what I'm disagreeing about Hillary about. She's trying to force you to have something that you don't want, okay? That's like me forcing you to take a piece of candy. You tell me that you don't want it. She's trying to enable the LGBT rights. It's not right. It's not right. It's a sin. I mean, I'm not perfect, but that's a sin.
Well, listen, I appreciate everything that you said today.
I'm honest about it. And you guys want Barack Obama because he's black. If Donald Trump was black, you'll be voting for him. So let's stop.
Well, I can't say that because I don't know.
I mean, if that were the case, black folks would have supported Ben Carson. I think oftentimes we underestimate the political savviness of black folks. I don't think it's just about a person's color, but African Americans do pay attention to platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, caller, I appreciate your call. Everything you said, we appreciate it because you called in and gave your point of view. And your point of view is just as important as anybody else's point of view. But don't be coming on my show tripping on Barack Obama. All right, so listen, I want to go back to this event on tomorrow because this is a really big event tomorrow. And I want to tell the people that may not know about this event and to remind those that do know. There is an event coming on tomorrow at 10 a.m. The late Mayor Harold Washington Legacy, and we're going to be the Mayor Harold Washington Legacy Committee is having this event over at Apostolic Church of God. This is going to be a big event.
Yes. And
I am so excited. We're going to have so many different people on there. We're going to have Doma T. Pongo on there, William Calloway, T.O. Hardiman, Kofi from Black Lives Matter. It's going to be, this panel is going to be off the chain.
Yeah, those are some heavy hitters.
Yes.
Those are some heavy hitters.
Now, I just talked about community activists. I didn't tell you all about the different mayors that's coming out from around the country.
Oh, wow.
We got African-American mayors coming from around the country. I'm not going to tell you all the mayors that's going to be there. You have to come tomorrow at 10 a.m. at Apostolic Church of God. That address is 6320 South Dorchester. That's 6320 South Dorchester. And that is at 10 a.m.?
10 a.m. 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's so important to come out. And you talked about T.O. Hardiman. I mean, the work he was doing with Ceasefire was so important. Kofi Ola with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
He's one person who I think advocates for the youth in a really specific way. You know, they talk about when things go on in the community, why don't folks act out on black crime or something like that, right? Kofi is one of those individuals who has been proactive with activism. I can't lift him up enough because from community gardens to
and for those that don't know who Kofi is, that's from representative for Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, from Black Lives Matter in Chicago. And again, my interactions with him has been in the art space because, that's something neutral. We all love arts, and it's a way to reach the youth in a really
Speaking of arts, not to cut you off, but wow, I was just told that you are a rapper and a poet. A poet?
Yes. A few people know that. I was an MC. I was a poet, a spoken word artist. Wow. I am. I'm saying was, but far before I got in the news, right? I don't know if we realize that the intersectionalities between news and hip hop, because before I was watching the news, I found out what LA was like. From West Coast rappers. You know what I'm saying? I learned what the West Side was like from Twister. You know what I'm saying? Coming from the South Side. And when I got into media, I started to realize that there were a lot of transferable skills. It's the art of storytelling. It's the art of performance. We talk about how you deliver the news, and it's the art of empathy, because in art and in poetry, you can't convey an emotion, be it a song about love or violence or whatever, without that sense of empathy. And that's what makes a good reporter as well. So yeah, so the music is on my website too if you guys want to check it out, domitpongo.com.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Anything you want to know about Domity Pongo, if you want to book him for because listen, you're a moderator too, and everybody's talking about how cold you are. Let's just put that out there.
Really? Oh man. Oh,
we was at a meeting. They was like Pongo. They like, oh yeah, we know Pongo. We know Pongo. Yeah. I was like, well, let me get in touch with him because I'm gonna need Pongo too.
Oh man, thank you, Reverend Brett.
So I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
I really, really, really am proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna have to have you back again on the show.
I would love to.
Because of course we don't have a whole lot of time, but I need you to come back so we can do a lot more courage. I do see people having a lot of calls, and we short on time, but stay on there. We're gonna try to take another call. But I do want to talk about the Mayor Harold Washington Legacy Committee, and I do want to put up this flyer for the event. Okay, this event is called Want Justice, Want Peace, Come Alive, October 5, Power Day Festival. Remembering Chicago's Mayor Harold Washington. Get power to the people. The tribute, the history, the legacy. Wednesday, October 5th, 2016, 10 a.m. 6320 South Dorchester in Chicago. Hip-hop artist Rhyme Fest is going to be there rocking the house for us. And we're going to have a youth panel with all the different community activists that I told you about, as well as different mayors from around the country are coming in. And as a matter of fact, we're going to also have the very first African-American mayor will be there, Mayor Hatcher.
Oh, wow. That's big. That's big.
And he's the first African-American mayor that's still alive. And he's going to be doing a panel with one of the mayors from around the country that's in the news hot right now.
That's big.
Dealing with some things that we're dealing with here in Chicago.
That's big.
So if you all are not at school or work tomorrow at 10 a.m., make it your business to be at 6320 South Dorchester. If they tell you we ain't got no more room, you tell Reverend Brown said let me in.
Exactly. And if you can just stop by for a second, just come and get registered to vote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come through on your lunch break. Come through on your lunch break, 6320 South Dorchester. So important. Come and meet some of these people that are doing such amazing work in the community. Rhyme Fest, a good friend of mine from WVON. Come check him out. Grammy Award winner. Can't say enough good things about him. And that youth panel is we are our own solution. I don't know if we understand that and resonate with that enough. So not only are we talking about voter registration, but we're also acting upon a lot of the things that we want to see change in our community. We want to see coalition building, right?
Yes.
So you bringing all the mayors out. We want to see the youth speak out about the things they're passionate about. So we're bringing them out. So I think it's I'm excited. I'm excited for tomorrow.
I was just going to say, I'm super excited. I'm a little geeked up about it.
Right. Me too.
I kind of want to acknowledge the President Josie Childs for she was the founder. She is the founder of Mayor Harold Washington Legacy Committee, and her purpose for founding this was to keep up the mayor's legacy alive.
Absolutely.
You know, so and Harold Washington, Mayor Harold Washington was, to me, the best mayor we ever had. You know, that's just my personal opinion. I love how he did things for fairness for all.
Yeah.
And he stuck to that. No matter what people said or did, he stuck to fairness for all. So what do you have to say about Mayor Harold Washington? How did he affect you?
Well, I was just going to say he found a way to find a connectivity between all working class people in the city of Chicago. You know, I mean, it makes a big difference when you think about the Black-Brown coalition, right, that Mayor Harold Washington advocated for. Right now, I saw, even in the last election, you know, I saw a tension or inability to mobilize, even though both Black and Brown communities have a lot of things, a lot of the same issues that were going through in the city of Chicago. I mean, the city is a third and a third and a third. And when you put it together, that's 66% of the vote is the minority vote in the city of Chicago, right?
Hey, you got to live math better than me.
You know, right? So when you think about that, there are a lot of things that there are more things that we can agree on than disagree on. And
Absolutely,
I think the mayor was a masterful politician in that he was able to allow people to see what those intersectionalities were, because he had some white support as well. And even afterward, a lot of that carried on to what Mayor Jane Byrne eventually would do. She built upon, in some ways, legacy of Mayor Harold Washington when you think about it.
I love Mayor Harold Washington. I cannot speak enough good things about him. You know, everybody talk about just how, you know, if we could get somebody that had that same mindset for all people, you know, just not, it had nothing to do with race. He wasn't he
Right.
wasn't racist in any way. You know, he just believed in fairness for all, you know.
Yeah.
So we look kind of winding down to the time, and I want to make sure that we get this word out here about tomorrow. Make sure you all join in with us tomorrow at 6320 South Dorchester over at Apostolic Church of God, Bishop Brazier's Church. We're going to have the event there. And we have so many supporters, CEIU, we have Kingdom Life Center, Chicago's Teachers Union, the Chicago Alliance Against Racist and Political Repression, Cook County Clerk's Office, we have the Black Caucus, we have Action Now. I mean, it's so many. NAACP, the Rainbow Push, and Jack and Jill from Lakeshore. I mean, it is a lot of supporters of this event.
Now tell me how the Mayor Harold Washington Legacy Committee came about.
Well, once Mayor Harold Washington passed away, and this is something, you know what? I want to get the people to come to hear this,
they gotta
because
hear the story.
they're going to tell
straight from the
about
horse's
this.
mouth. Yeah.
Right? They're going to tell about how that became alive, how the legacy became about, as well as how Come Alive October 5 came about. And you're going to be able to meet the people that made up Come Alive October 5.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
That's a big deal. I heard this morning Miss Childs, Josie Giles, called into WVON, and she was saying that you guys are going to honor Ed Gardner.
Yes.
Tomorrow, he was. She said he donated.
He was
a supporter.
Money.
He put the first seed money, and he put his money where his mouth was as far as supporting the African American community and in the business community. And she said it, so I'm going to quote her. She said, in the business community, even today, we don't see African Americans mobilized in that way, in a real powerful and strategic way today. And I think a lot of what we're seeing. We can get over it if we have more Ed Gardners and more John Johnsons and John Rogers in the city of Chicago. A lot of people doing a lot of good work. So to be able to even meet these people, it's
a big deal.
It's a big deal. This past year has been amazing for me personally. Just a blessing. Meeting you, you know, it was kind of. It was kind of surreal because I know you probably don't want to speak on it, but I didn't get a chance to tell you this. I'm gonna tell you on your show.
Okay.
But when I watched that, it was painfully difficult to watch the video of what happened to you at the hands of the Chicago police, and we reported on it. And you called in, and you came on, and I met you in passing in so many different ways. But for that to happen to a woman of God was something that was difficult to see. But then to see how you kicked into action, you didn't lie down, you didn't let that beat you up or change your resolve. But you actually became an advocate for other people who had been through the same thing, and it was an inspiring thing to see. So bumping into you and through you getting a chance to meet other people who have advocated in the same way has been a blessing this past year.
I really, really appreciate that. I think one of the things that kind of keep me moving is the fact that my babies, not only I was lied on, but my little babies were lied on, and I can't let them go through life thinking that this is how it goes, that somebody is going to be accountable for their actions. The police is not to do those type of things. So I appreciate all the comments and everything, and I think that you know, going out there fighting to get justice is a part of the healing process for me.
Wow.
You know, and it's taken a lot, but it's going to come. And I just want to we always say we want justice, want peace. So I say, if you want justice, you want peace, come alive October 5. You want justice, you want peace, and come out to this event to learn how to get power behind our voices. That's very important, very important. We can do all the marches, all the protesting and everything, but if we don't have power behind our voices through the power of voting, things will never change. I appreciate you coming on to my show.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
I look forward to you again.
Thank you.
And we're going to rock the house tomorrow.
Thank you. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 6320 South Dorchester. And if you want to know any more information about Dometi Pongo, go to Dometi Pongo, DOMETIPONGO.com. DometiPongo.com. Thank you so much. Have a blessed evening, and I'll see you next week. Same channel, same time, Tuesday at 6:30 p.m.